Hey, did you know that there's a Portugal The Simple Life magazine? If your answer is no, then you probably also didn't know that we've just launched the third edition of Portugal The Simple Life magazine. And today's a special episode where I'm joined by some of my friends from the Leisure Launch Group who have written articles in the magazine. We discuss a little bit about them and what they do, the articles that they wrote in the magazine, and we speak about their hidden gems on the Silver Coast. This episode is sponsored by the Leisure Launch Group. Welcome back, or welcome to another episode of Portugal The Simple Life. It's a special episode. David Patricio, welcome back to the podcast.
Thank you, Dylan. It's good to be back as always.
It's been a while.
It has. I see you still talking to people that are far more interesting than me, which is obviously a good thing.
Look, give yourself a little bit more credit. Okay, that's why we've got you here. That's why we've got you back here. Give yourself a little more credit than that. But
Thank you. Do some wonders for my ego.
Exactly. Well, we're doing a full circle type of interview, and I believe we'll do a few more as the years go on. But it was you and I that first came up with this idea, or this coined the phrase of Portugal The Simple Life. Many years back, we're going back 2018, that we sort of started to think about this as a phrase. And here we are, the podcast, 150 episodes in, a magazine, which we're going to talk about, a website. I mean, yeah, how much it's evolved.
Yeah, it's taken a life of its own. So often now, I travel quite a lot and people are talking about Portugal, and then you hear them talking about, I watched this podcast or on YouTube, or I listened to a podcast. I saw this magazine in the airport the other day, and you're like, oh my God, that's us. This was this very simple idea, a simple conversation that's taken on a life of its own. So it's amazing, super exciting. And that we've done it just because we love this place so much. There's actually no other motivation for it, just a really beautiful, beautiful place. And giving back to the Portuguese what they've given us tenfold.
Yeah, and it's not a trend. Good ideas stick, and authentic things stick, and they last. And here we are. We're talking about something that lasts. It's lasted a long time for you and I, for all these years that we've been living here, but longer than that, and it will still last.
Yeah, I think so. Hopefully we'll do what the Portuguese have done, It keeps going, and it has its life of its own. It has no underlying commercial motivation. There's no boredom in the whole thing. We saw hundreds, thousands of podcasts appearing during COVID, whereas this one has been very much like a Portuguese culture. It just keeps growing itself. People get to talk the way that they want to. There's no conditioning. It's just so much fun. It's just so interesting. For me, still to this day, I can't wait for the next episode to come out, and lots of new stuff, even for someone that has lived in this country for so long. Just amazing stuff that I love history. That lady the other day that was talking about the
16th century,
the 1800s, or oh man.
Yeah.
I never thought that Portugal had such an interesting history, and just how it's managed to survive. Unbelievable. And just culturally, how these people have managed to never change. It's amazing. How can a country with so much change, so much upheaval, so much still just be the same? Just amazing. Oh, absolutely amazing.
Well, speaking about survival and years in doing the same thing, just remind our listeners what you do.
Well, I'm chairman of a property group in Portugal, the Leisure Launch Group. So that's kind of my day job. Been doing this for nearly 20-something years in Portugal, and with a group that's pretty much catered towards people like me that arrived in this country, that didn't speak the language, that didn't know how the laws worked, didn't know how the business worked, what the mentalities were like, all of those challenges. And thank goodness, because of the wonderful Portuguese people that we employ in this group, which is, for me, that's where the success of the group lies. And these amazing people that have embraced the challenge of introducing foreigners to this country, but do it at a level that I, in my own experience, was never able to achieve in any other country. So yeah, truly proud to be heading such a wonderful team of people. Yeah.
Speaking of the people, and speaking of introducing Portugal to the rest of the world, and all of that, we as you know, we're launching the 3rd edition of the magazine. That feels like it's flown by really, really quickly. And everybody, and we're doing a special podcast episode for everyone that contributed to the magazine. So you were article number 1 in this latest edition of the magazine. Tell us a little bit about the article. Obviously, we don't want people to know too much because they need to download it. But tell us a little bit about what you wrote.
Mine's just a very short introduction. It's my nature is just to introduce things, to introduce ideas and let other people run with them. So hopefully that's the same. My message is still the same. It hasn't been any different in the last 20 odd years. It's just this looking past the things that are obvious. I see on CNN articles, Portugal rated as this, and you know what, we knew that Portugal was always the best in all of these aspects, but much more for me, it's less about those things that appear on the world news, and still the same reason why I came here, the authenticity of the country, and just saying to people, listen, look past these things, look past these articles, look past these wonderful awards that the country's won, look past the what was I going to say?
The stats.
The stats, and just the fact that it's become so fashionable. Look past the fashion. This is not a short-term thing. Look past that. There's the real authenticity of the country that keeps us here, and that, and in my opinion, and certainly in my experience, in 1,000 years, we will be talking about Portugal in exactly the same way as we are talking about it today. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you hear it in the podcast as well, just time and time again. It's just the authenticity. It's just the day-to-day, the way it feels, the way that it is, the way people treat each other. We've just launched an episode with an Italian woman who's bought here in Portugal, and simply for her, she just says, "I want to be in a place where people are nice to each other." And I mean, that's what it is.
Crazy.
Yeah.
There's an example. Italy's got to be one of my favorite countries in the world to visit. But yet Italian people are saying, listen, but there is, in all this beauty, there is something missing.
Yeah.
And in my introduction, I talked about the DNA of the Portuguese. I'm sure the scientists are looking there and they're seeing this little thing that they don't recognize. And it's this kindness, the wonderful manner of these people, the caring, the hospitality, I saw an article a lady put out an article in Facebook the other day, and she was talking about she couldn't communicate with her neighbor, but she had this tree full of quinces. Now, quinces, Portuguese make marmalade out of quinces. And she said to the man with sign language, listen, do you want this fruit, which she didn't know what to do with? And he picked the fruit, and then a couple of days later came with this beautiful tub of marmalade, which she didn't know how she was going to eat. And yes, she was saying, aren't these Portuguese people amazing? And I'm like, why are you so surprised?
Yeah.
Because that's what they do. It's not because you're a foreigner. It's just what they do. Just a beautiful, beautiful thing. Yeah.
But this is the thing that I love. You're the chairman of this sort of modern property group, cutting edge, use all the technology in the world on social media, websites, all these kind of things. But here you are just, like we spoke about in episode 1, living the simple life.
Nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. The world has changed, but for me, nothing has changed. I still have my coffee every day. I still have my lunch with people that I enjoy being with. I'm amazed my life hasn't changed in 20 something years. My life hasn't changed. It's the same. Things have got bigger, they've got busier, they've got more exciting. They're sending rockets to Mars, and my life hasn't changed. My personal life hasn't changed. That quality, that environment that I live in, nothing has changed. That is the amazing part for me.
Okay, coming back to the magazine and to that authenticity. One of the articles, the main articles in the magazine, is also about the Silver Coast's hidden gems. Portugal is a hidden gem. We know this, but just speak about some of your hidden gems. Those things, those little secrets that you still know about on the Silver Coast.
For me, my hidden gem is not such a secret for those that know me. It's less about the places that I visit and the things that I see. It's about the food. The food.
Yeah, that's not a surprise.
The whole experience of food, you know, to have your meal made by a family that cares. It's less about a menu. You know this about me. I never eat in fancy restaurants. For me, with all due respect to the chefs, these places have no culture. They have no real, authentic feeling about them. For me, I want to eat in a restaurant where the lady learnt, or the chef, the cook in the house learnt. There I go, using Portuguese terms. When Portuguese talk about house, it means place. But you know that they learned the recipes that they learned from their parents, from their aunties, their uncles, their grandmothers, they learned all of these recipes from the village that brought them up, because Portuguese still have this. They're not brought up by their parents or by their grandparents. They're actually brought up by the whole village, and the food that you eat and the care and the preparation, you can see that the chef eats that food every day. They have a great sense of. So for me, the secrets are places like, close here to the office. Let's talk about Famalicão. Famalicão is a little village between, we in São Martinho do Porto. My office is in São Martinho do Porto, just off the bay. And between us and Nazaré, everybody knows where Nazaré is with the big wave. There's this little village, kind of halfway between us.
It's one of those places where everybody's probably passed through it, but didn't know what it was called.
Didn't know that exactly.
Yeah, Famalicão.
Famalicão's one of those. Famalicão has, for me, such authentic restaurants. There's some really interesting ones. Small, they're all small. None of them are these huge franchise. You'll never catch me in a franchise. So no franchises there. But you've got that little one, I'm not even sure of the name. As you go up the hill, Dylan, right up in Serra da Pescaria, there's a little restaurant right up at the top at an intersection. That one. Just amazing. This little family, that's father and or husband and wife and grandmother.
No, it's even more impressive. He's got both. Yeah. He's got his mother and his mother-in-law working in the same kitchen. You know, that's
dangerous.
Another level.
That could be dangerous.
Yeah.
It's like a kitchen that's about 6 square meters.
Yeah.
Could be dangerous. Be dangerous. Take my hat off to that guy. The food there is just so authentic and just amazing. The other thing is that you don't get to choose what you can eat. You arrive and you say to her, what can I eat today? And she decides for you what you can eat. Love that. I love that. You want chicken, you want meat, or you want fish? Make up your mind. I'll choose the dish for you. Really, really nice. Another favorite for me in Famalicão is, this is just close by the office. Famalicão is Raposo. Raposo is more like a really traditional restaurant. I always say a good sign, the sign of a really good restaurant is one where ordinary laborers are eating in them. Raposo's down in the village. There you'll find builders, engineers, lawyers, businessmen, and a couple of foreigners having lunch there.
And you can see into the kitchen.
Right into the back of the kitchen. Again, another family business. Yesterday, last week actually, when Louise and I were walking out of the restaurant, and the father busy scolding his kids because they cut skew. They cut the pineapple skew, top of his waist. What's this? No, I can't. This is what I like, more real, authentic stuff. And then something that I don't know if your listeners like this is Lake Town. Lake Town is young piglet. It's
suckling pig.
Suckling pig. Oh my God! Just further down the road is actually coming from the halfway between probably Famalicão in the direction of Somertingbourg. There's a restaurant that used to be a garage, used to be a petrol station, and they converted it into this place that does suckling pig. Oh my God. Oh my God. Amazing. If you enjoy this kind of food, if you haven't tried it, please do. It's a really authentic meal that they do amazing stuff. Things cooked in proper wood-fired ovens. This is no gas in sight. Russians can do whatever they like. They are not going to stop us from our food, boy. Our food is cooked with charcoal and wood. That's what it is. You can cut off whatever gas you like. We're eating. But there's really nice. A secret there is, if you've ever tried it, eat polvo. Polvo is octopus. Oh my God. Also done there. Superb. Bacalhau. Oh no. Oh my God, I'm getting my mouth. Yeah. But yeah, these are my special places. Where you get treated well, people know you, you walk in, you don't have to wait for a table, they already know where you like to sit, so off you go. I get hugged. I get hugged 20 times a day. People come put their arm around you. How you doing? Are you good? People just care, man. And those are my secret spots to go to. Yeah.
Well, nothing more to add. That's a perfect place to leave it. You have something to be proud of. We will have another 7 or 8 episodes or 7 or 8 interviews after you with people from the group that you've created, all those people that you mentioned. But I do have a bit of bad news. It means that I can't let you call it.
Oh no.
So I'm sorry, but thank you for being on the podcast again. And I'll
take continuation.
Okay, that's okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dill. Take care. Cheers.
Denise Vieira, hello.
Hi, Dylan. How are you?
I'm well. It's been a long time since you were on the podcast.
It's true.
Are you upset with me about that? That I haven't invited you for so long?
Not really. Not really.
Okay, good. Thank you. You never want to make a person from Nazaré angry,
It's true. It's also true.
Yeah, people think that, Nazarenes are like these friendly surfer types. No, it's a fishing village. It's different,
But we are very friendly.
Until you make them mad.
Yes. But normally, no. It needs to be something very, very, very bad. But we always are very friendly and very, very welcoming as well.
Wonderful. Denise, tell us what you do. A little bit about you quickly.
Well, very briefly, I'm a senior account manager at Leisure Launch. I follow up clients from the moment of the purchase of properties until the end of 5 years of warranty of the construction. So I follow the clients through all the process of the construction and finished villa and the 5 years of warranty, and sometimes even more, because the majority of clients, when they need help, they always tend to return to us.
You must be very busy right now.
Yes.
How many houses are you overseeing? The construction of how many properties, roughly?
Now I'm following basically villas, probably around. The thing is we have projects finishing, projects beginning. So I'm finishing some of the allotments and starting new ones. So probably at the moment, without considering the new ones, around 60.
Wow. Okay. So I'm going to keep this brief so that I'll let you get back to
without counting the warranties.
Exactly. That's another level. Okay, that's another level. Denise, we're doing a special episode of the podcast for the launch of the 3rd edition of the Simple Life magazine.
Yes.
And you wrote an article in the magazine. So here we are. Tell us a little bit about that article quickly and what it's all about.
Well, the article is basically to explain a bit of the process and the Simple Life unpack, because Leisure Launch Group has all the needs that the clients have, from the assistance on the purchase, the consulting to help to find the right plots, the right location, the right project, and passing through the after sale, the help on the bureaucracy as well, because we have a lot of bureaucracy, the passage through the part of selecting finishing materials, I consider myself as a bridge between the client and the builder. So all the communications between the both parties always pass through me, and I do the follow-up. Then it's the follow-up in all the needs that the clients may have. Also the Simple Life Unpack. Once the villa is finished and we do the handover and all that process, there's also assistance for to do the connections for the final meters which is needed. Then there's also assistance in parts of with Portugal interiors, for example, to help on the decoration and all the needs. Then there's also the part with the rentals and property management, which is with SCH, and accounting. So there's all the needs that the client have from the moment he decides to have a property in Portugal. We are in all fronts to help and have the better service and make clients happy.
So all the services under one roof.
Yes.
So from the moment he decides he's buying a house to the moment he's sitting on his patio drinking a bottle of Portuguese wine.
Yes.
Very nice. It's good. It's good. There's actually a nice little diagram. We're not going to show people because they have to get the magazine. Have you seen Lion King? Have you seen Lion King? Do you like the Lion King?
Of course I am.
The circle of life. It reminds me of the circle of life, like the simple life circle of life.
Yes, yes.
Eh?
But it's on the magazine.
Exactly.
The diagram it's on.
Exactly. Okay. Another part of the magazine, which is one of the main episode, or one of the main articles in the magazine, and I thought I'd just pick your brain about this as well, is hidden Silver Coast gems. And I'm asking everybody that's contributed to the magazine to talk about their hidden Silver Coast gem. You are from probably the most famous part of the Silver Coast. You're from Nazaré.
The most beautiful as well.
And famous over the last 10 years. Famous internationally. It was always famous amongst the Portuguese.
But even internationally, we have a lot of historically a lot of celebrities that passed through there, but incognito. Nobody knew who they were.
Yeah, a very famous photographer.
Yes, photographers.
The Queen. The late Queen.
Yes, the late Queen, and even Stanley Kubrick.
Exactly.
There was
Okay, but what's your Silver Coast gem? Your Silver Coast hidden gem?
It's difficult to choose.
Yeah.
Because, well, I'm too biased, and for me, Nazaré, from one corner to the other, is beautiful and the most beautiful region in the area. But for me, the most special place is the path where you stand in the main square in Sítio de Nazaré, where you have the church and the chapel. It's basically the path along the cliff that you have from there until the lighthouse, because you see the Atlantic Ocean surrounding you. It's just breathtaking.
Yeah. It's amazing. I've done it. Everybody just walks straight down the road, the tar road, but there's that little snaky path that goes through you go through some bushes, you're right on top of the cliffs. But you've got to be careful where you walk.
Careful, and do not go with adventures. We don't like we always stand in Nazaré to warn about because we are used to it. but a lot of people that go there, they aren't. There's no need to risk it. So even with the sea, we always tend to advise the best place to go to the beach and to go to the sea. And of course, you will always hear everyone from Nazaré saying, don't go to North Beach to do beach. It's just for surfer, because there's a lot of respect
for nature.
the sea. Yes.
Yeah. Wonderful. Thank you. We're going to have people in a few weeks' time just walking up and down that path because of you. So,
and it's healthy. And
so if the mayor complains, we'll say it was you that told them to go.
But even if people want to do exercise, the best thing I would advise, it's tiring, but it's the best thing. It's to start downstairs in Nazaré, and you can go
walk up.
And walk up. You can go by the lift. It's also beautiful. But I really like to go through the stairs, the path. Yeah. And I get upstairs and I'm completely.
And then you can have a good lunch because you've worked hard for it. So it's a good idea. Awesome. Denise, thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you, Dylan.
Take care. Bye.
Thank you. Take care. Bye.
Tim, all the way from Belgium. Hello again.
Hi, Dylan. How are you?
Yeah, very well, thanks. Very well. And yourself? How is things over there?
Everything's fine. I'm glad to be a guest on your podcast again. Well, in Belgium, it's
been a while.
As usual. Yeah, it's been a while. Well, in Belgium here, it's raining, which is usual in September. So I would love to be in Portugal, but unfortunately, somebody has to do the work from Belgium. So that's me. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you've been, like you mentioned, you've been on the podcast before. But for people that didn't watch that episode, just tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do.
Well, in fact, I'm the sales director of Imo Portugal, and Imo Portugal is one of the brands of the Leisure Lounge Group. So Imo Portugal is the real estate agent that does all the sales for the group in Belgium and the Netherlands. We have a head office in Antwerp, so from that spot, I can really serve both markets very well. And my task is to invite people to the office and provide people the information that they are looking for to do an investment at the beautiful Silver Coast. Because for me, it's a daily business to talk about it, but for a lot of our clients, it's once in a lifetime. So it's really important to guide the clients from the start in a serious way and to give them all the information they need concerning the sales process, concerning the task of a lawyer, but also how new construction works, how they should apply for licenses and everything. And of course, with Imo Portugal, that makes part of the Leisure Lounge Group. They can also count on me to provide extra services such as accounting by Portugal Accounting. Portugal Interiors can take care of the furniture if they want. We have Silver Coast Hospitality for rentals and property management. That's my task from Belgium. Of course, together with my colleagues in Portugal who can guide people around. That's what I do.
Wonderful. Well, as you know, we're launching this episode as part of the publishing of the 3rd edition of the Portugal Simple Life magazine.
Yeah.
You've written an article in that magazine. Just tell us a little bit about what you wrote.
Well, the article, in fact, is about general trends that we see in real estate at Silver Coast. Of course, new construction, that's what we do. And there I described that over the last years, because of COVID, more and more working from home and stuff like that, we don't have a general average client anymore. Like about 6 years ago, we could tell that the average clients were the traditional couples, end of their 50s, beginning 60s, looking for their retirement. But now we also have young digital nomads. We have young investors who are seeking for investment properties. So we really have to do more tailor-made expertise on the real estate that we offer to our clients. Of course, that's what we can do. It's our specialty, but that's, again, a big shift that we see in serving the clients. And the second trend is that from a point of investment, the Silver Coast is really hot nowadays. And from that part, we see that we have more demand than we have product to offer. So it's a real challenging situation for us, but good news for our clients who do the investments because they can have quite nice returns on the rentals and everything that comes with it. Of course, prices are rising at Silver Coast because of the AAA location. that are very difficult to find nowadays. And because of the regulations on new construction in terms of insulation and stuff like that, prices are going up also a bit. But if you buy a good quality real estate now, the first 20 years, you can rent it out without any problems, of course. So that's a bit what I described in the article.
You're the only person that we're interviewing for the podcast for this episode that's not in Portugal.
Yeah.
So I hope that it's not making you too homesick. But we're going to bring a bit of Portugal to you with a couple of the shows coming up for Second Home.
Yeah, indeed. Well, we do the Second Home shows. That's the biggest show in the Benelux concerning second home properties. And it's also a great opportunity for my clients and interested people in Belgium and the Netherlands to come visit the show, because over there, they also have the opportunity to speak to the specialists of the Simple Life Home Pack. So, of course, they can come talk to me and my colleagues Rita and Anna, who do sales in Portugal concerning the projects. But, of course, they can also talk to somebody specialized in accounting, somebody specialized in construction itself, the technical part of it. They can talk to somebody of the furniture company, but also from the rental company. So it's a great opportunity to have a real wide umbrella view on everything that concerns buying a second home in Portugal. Yeah.
All right. Well, speaking of the magazine, we obviously want people to download it and all of that. But one of the other articles was the Silver Coast Hidden Gems. You've just spoken about Silver Coast becoming more and more popular, more and more prominent in the market, but it's still a bit of a secret for some people. But talk about your hidden spot on the Silver Coast that you want to share with people.
Yeah, well, I have quite a lot of hidden gems, of course, but one of my favorites is, in fact, the daily market, fresh market, fruit, vegetables, fish in Caldas da Rainha. It's a tradition that goes back already to the end of the 15th century. And for me, it's a pleasure to meet local people over there. The prices there are really amazing compared to Belgium and the Netherlands. It's a market that's easy accessible because you have a nice parking space next to it. And it's so nice to buy your fresh fruit, vegetables and fish, just to put them on the grill on your acquired property in the evening. It's really amazing, that market. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, for people that I mean, you know, we know that the amazing restaurants and stuff on the Silver Coast, but for people like many of our clients that like to cook, it's a great place to go shopping for their fresh product. And you've got these little farmers markets in all the different villages as well, not just Caldas. Caldas is the only one that's open every day of the week in Portugal. But Salid de Porto, Nazaré, São Martinho all have these little farmers markets, which has got the best products, nice and fresh and tasty. If you like to cook as well, it's fantastic.
It's amazing, true.
Yeah, wonderful, Tim. Well, we're going to get hungry, so I look forward to seeing you in Belgium and the Netherlands soon. And thanks again for being on the podcast.
Look forward to see you, Dylan. Bye-bye.
Take it easy. Thank you. Elena, hello. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I'm very well. It's been a while since you've been on the podcast, like more than a year. So, yeah. A lot of lots happened. We are doing another one right now. So,
exactly. True story.
Exactly. So, for those people that didn't listen to those couple of episodes that you did with, I know you did one about furniture. You did one with Sandra as well. But just tell the listeners a little bit about you.
Okay, so my name's Elena. I've been living in Portugal for 14 years now. Obviously, it's my home. And I'm the manager of Portugal Interiors. I have a passion for decorating and making homes feel like home and beautiful.
So if people want to make their homes look pretty, they come to you guys.
Exactly.
Well, the reason that we're doing this chat is that we've just recently launched the third edition of the Portugal the Simple Life magazine. And I'm interviewing everybody that's written an article in the magazine. Tell us a little bit about what you wrote in the magazine, your article.
The article I've written is obviously close to the heart. from the get-go, we've always aimed at sourcing and producing our furniture locally here in Portugal. It guarantees us quality. I'm able to travel to wherever I need to go to ensure the quality of the furniture, to touch the textiles, to feel everything, and make sure it's exactly what we want it. Gives us an advantage. We have the flexibility of creating new furniture lines and furniture styles. I literally drive half an hour to the guy that makes the sofas. If we want to make a new design, it's easy for us to do that. And we don't have the worry of trying to understand when it's going to be delivered from another country, because it's here in Portugal. And at the delivery time, the experience that all of our clients and ourselves have in doing so, it helps a lot.
Oh, I mean, I just love the fact, one of the things that we're proud of with the Leisure Launch Group is the amount of Portuguese. It's a Portuguese company, You and I are like one of the few foreigners that are part of the group, and but the fact that it's all produced, I love the fact that the furniture is produced locally, that it's made down the road, and that it's a local manufacturer, and that's important. It's important to for you guys to maintain the quality. It's coming from, that it's not coming from China or Sweden or whatever, and it looks nice. It looks quite nice. It looks quite nice.
Thank you.
Good stuff. I mean, how important as well is this from a, for clients that want to make sure that they've got stuff that's going to last, especially if they're not using the property. It's a super important thing. So it looks good, but it's practical as well.
Yeah. I mean, obviously we have a lot of experience in the rental market. So we really understand what lasts. We know that wear and tear that happens with holiday rentals, but we also know how important it is to, in 3 years' time, I don't know, somebody scratches a chair and needs replacing of some material or something like that, or next year for some reason a television goes, and it's easy for us to be contacted. We can, again, it's just local down the street. They can often replace the TV for them. So we try and remind the clients about that, because it's much easier coming to us at a local store that can help them like on the day than trying to find, I don't know, a big supermarket where you've bought it from. You're going to take ages to come up with a solution to fix it. So it's the durability and the how do you say? It's not the quickness. It's the
easy. It's the ease in which you can get. You can replace the furniture. It's practical. So it's pretty durable and practical.
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome. Okay. Mm-hmm. Also in the magazine, the main article in the magazine is called "The Silver Coast Hidden Gems," and I've asked everybody who's in this magazine to speak about their Silver Coast hidden gems. So tell us about yours.
Wow, it was really difficult to choose. I think sometimes we automatically want to go to the beaches because, the sunsets and the little hidden beaches that you have that are a little bit more private. But I have a little daughter and she absolutely loves going to the park. So I cannot be too specific because there are so many wonderful little parks in each village. It's amazing how they cater for families with smaller children in this area. So I would like to say parks. My favorite park is Caldas because there's obviously a lot to do there. It's historic. There's some cafes around there as well. So my favorite park is Caldas, but I would like to say
there's like 5 in general. There's a lot in Caldas. So we're talking about the one that's actually in the park, Edward.
Exactly.
Yeah, it is a nice park.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is her favorite? Which is her favorite toy on the park? Which is her favorite thing?
The big kid slide. She's only not even 2, and she likes to go on the slide where the 7 and 8-year-olds play. So her favorite is the slide. She'll spend an hour
up there. How does she get up? You have to pick her up and put her up there, and then she slides down. How many times does she go up and down that slide in an hour?
I don't know. Too many to count.
Yeah, it's amazing in Portugal. I've also got a young boy, as you know, and the parks are amazing. Like in every little village and every little neighborhood, there's a park of some kind for parents to take their kids.
And
it's
then
awesome.
as you start going like more often, then you start making friends and stuff because your child's making friends. So it's also a way to get to know your neighbors and things like that in the area. So
Yeah, you kind of see the same people at the same parks, and that Caldas Park is amazing
Yeah.
because I've never heard so many foreign languages spoken at that park before until now. Like you can just hear British, you hear American, you hear every kind of language. So it's
Yeah,
really international now as well.
exactly. Yeah. So
And there's
yeah.
nice shops across the road, which I know you appreciate.
Yes.
Len, thanks for being on the podcast.
Okay. It's a
See you
pleasure.
soon.
Good to be
Take
here.
care.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Bruno,
Hello, Dylan.
bonjour.
Bonjour.
How are you?
Your French is getting better.
No, it's not.
Are you training?
No. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So, Bruno, this is a special edition of the podcast for the launch of our third magazine. And everyone that's written an article in the magazine is on this podcast episode. So a lot of fun. But maybe you can just start off by telling us a bit about you.
Yes, sure. Thank you for inviting me and for being interested about having my own experience recorded in the podcast. But yes, what I wrote on the blog was all about my experience. So it was a family experience, just a normal family looking for a better quality of life. Also, in my point of view, it was a way to come back to origins because, as you know, yes, I was born in France, I was raised in France, but I have my Portuguese origins as well. So I was kind of the engine of the project at the beginning, but very quickly my wife and my children followed me into that project. And today, if I would ask them if I want to come back to Paris, they would scream no. So yes, I think we did a big improve regarding the quality of life in general. I mean, the food that we eat, the surroundings that we have when we get out of home, having the castle so close to us all the time. The castle was a big deal for us, and I'm sure everybody who moves to Portugal has, kind of or beach or monument or thing that they fall in love with, and that starts let's say the dream here. For us, it was the castle, and yes, that's the best decision of our life.
Nice. What do you do day to day?
Well, besides my wonderful job, I go to the beach. I take just time to do normal things. I like to go to a specific bakery in Orbich to buy, my fresh bread. I like to walk with my children. It's all about taking time to do the things, take time to go to the nature. I mean, we have the lagoon really close to us, so it's a beautiful place also to spend some time. Maybe because we didn't have that luck to be raised in the nature, in the countryside, because we were raised in big cities. Maybe that's why we value even more those things, and that's why we spend even more time around that. So it's a lot about, yes, taking time in the nature, being in family for us. Also, nice moments in restaurants because we have amazing restaurants in the area. So I like to eat. Everybody in my family likes that. And I mean, there's so many options, so many restaurants to try all around us. I mean, 20 minutes around us, there's hundreds of restaurants. So we are always discovering. So we try to take at least 2 weekends per month to discover a new place or a place that a friend or you recommend me as well. because to everybody, this guy knows just the best places in the Silver Coast. And yes, it's about that. I feel just simple things.
Nice. Well, one of the articles in this edition of the magazine is about the hidden gems on the Silver Coast. The Silver Coast as a whole is still a bit of a hidden gem for people, but now it's becoming a little bit more well known. Abydos Castle, you mentioned, is one of the most well known places. But what is a hidden gem on the Silver Coast that you want to share with us, Bruno?
Well, what I'm going to share with you guys, it's a place that for me represents a lot, because every time I go there, I just feel good. I feel well. I feel like I'm in a secret place, something that very less people know. That's something that I share a lot with the clients that I receive here when I'm showing them the area. I have to confess, because I'm a bit selfish as well, because when I do that, it's also for me. It's not only for them. I like to drive. I like to drive a lot, and Silver Coast has some of the best roads to drive. If you like nature, if you like, those kind of landscapes that make you feel just better and free. That road that takes me to Praia do Salgado, which is actually the secret that I would like to share with you guys. Praia do Salgado. But it's not only about the beach. The beach is amazing. It's a long beach. I think it's something like 5-6 kilometers long beach, if I'm not wrong. Sometimes you go there and you have giant waves, and you can hear the sound hundreds of meters away from the beach. Sometimes the sea can be just flat, and you can see the boats in the horizon. The sunset there is just one of the most beautiful sunsets that I ever seen. I take really often my son to see that there. Every time we come from the northern part of the A8, if we go to Nazaré, or if we go north, we stop there to see the sunset. And the road that takes you there, it's a road. When you drive that road down, you are just in the middle. You feel like you are in the middle of nowhere. There's just nature, forest around you, windmills. And those 4 minutes that take you to the beach, for me, are the most amazing 4 minutes you can drive in the area. So it's not only about the beach itself, it's about even the way you get there, all that you have around. And if you like to have a walk on the beach, find yourself alone, that's the perfect place you could ever imagine.
Awesome. Bruno, thank you so much.
You're welcome, Dylan. Thank you.
Take care. Sophia, how are you?
Hello, I'm fine. And you?
I'm fine. You were on episode 3 of the podcast. Do you remember?
Yes, I was one of the first ones.
You were one of the first.
A long time ago.
Now look where we are, 100 and something episodes later, and you're back. So I'm excited.
Yes, I'm excited too.
So we're celebrating the launch of the 3rd edition of the magazine, and to start off by telling us a little bit about you and what you do and who you work for.
Okay, so for those who didn't check podcast number 3.
Yes, we have to assume that some people didn't see podcast number 3 because it's such a long time ago.
But they should go back. In any case, so I'm Sophia. I'm an accountant. I work in this accounting firm since 2014, so a while now. I live in the Silver Coast. I've lived here all my life. What else would you like to know?
That's good enough.
Great.
Accountants always talk about that their work is so boring. I think you guys need to give yourself a bit more credit. Not everyone can do it, so that's
someone has to do it, right?
Exactly,
and in my case, I actually like to do it. I'm happy doing it, so I don't think it's boring.
Exactly. But in the latest edition of the magazine, you also published an article. You also wrote an article for the magazine. Tell us a little bit about the article. We want people to obviously download the magazine and see the magazine.
Exactly.
But tell us a little bit about what you wrote.
Okay, it's a general article, but so that people know a little more about what taxes they have to pay when they own a property in Portugal. Mainly it's about that. The taxes that you have to pay because you buy the property, when you pay the transfer tax and the stamp duty. Then because you own a property, you pay the yearly tax of a property, which is called IMI. And on certain cases, you might have an extra tax, which is called AIMI, which is an extra IMI when the property is worth over a certain amount. And then, if you sell the property, you will have capital gains. But this happens here and everywhere else. Mainly, it's about this in a very short way.
In a very short way. Yeah, good. I didn't know about I didn't know too much about the AIMI. Obviously, IMI is a...
Yes, IMI, it's the general property tax that you pay everywhere. It's paid to the municipality according to the value that the tax department gives to your property. And then the tax rate depends on where your property is located, so to say.
Yeah.
There's a tax between 0.3 and 0.45% that you will pay over that value, and then it will depend on the percentage the municipality where the property is located decides.
Yeah.
Basically, that's it.
And that's why we have festas, because we pay IMI.
Yes, exactly.
One of the things that our money gets us for paying IMI.
Yeah, they need money, so they have to get it from somewhere.
Exactly. Okay. Also in the magazine, we speak about the hidden gems on the Silver Coast. So tell us about your hidden secret on the Silver Coast that you want to share with us.
Okay, so it's not easy, but I think for me, my favorite places are the coastline between Valfurado and São Pedro de Moel.
Okay.
So it's like Valfurado, Mina, Paredes, Povoeira, Pedra do Ouro, Água de Madeiros, and São Pedro de Moel. Those are the main ones.
You see, and you were worried that you wouldn't remember all those names. Here we go. So those are those names that you just mentioned are beaches. I mean, those are beautiful beaches.
Yes, and it's not such a touristic place like Nazaré or São Martinho. It's not so known as these ones.
Yeah.
But they are a little more wild, so to say. So there's not much building there. It's more in the forest. It's more for locals, but you should try them.
Yeah, beautiful beaches. You don't have, like you said, there's not a lot of buildings. Nice places to walk and hike.
Yes, exactly. Close to the sea, always watching the sea. It's really, really nice. I advise everyone to visit at least once.
Awesome. Sophia, thank you so much.
And I was forgetting, there's a very special restaurant there that I think it's also a hit gem. It's in Paredes da Vitória, and it's called Restaurante Tunico. It's one of my favorite places. You know it, right?
Yeah.
So it's a place where you have almost nothing, but you have that great restaurant that I advise everyone to go there.
Yeah. I had lobster. It was wow. Yeah.
It's great. It's great. It's always full, so you have to make a reservation to be safe, but I advise you to visit. Everyone.
It's a surprising place because you don't expect something like that to be there.
In that place, exactly. Yeah. Yes, exactly.
It's very good. Nice beach as well. Victoria.
Very good. It's where I've been all my life since I was a little, because it's the closest to where I live. So we know everyone there. It's like being at home. So yes, it's very, very nice.
Awesome. Sophia, thank you so much. We'll have you on the podcast again soon.
Okay,
we won't keep it so long. We won't keep it so long between like episode 100 and something.
2 years or something.
Yeah. We'll do it before then. Take care. Thank you.
Okay. You're welcome. Great.
Sandra, Philippe, hello. How are you?
I'm good. And you?
I'm fine. I'm very well. Thank you. Good. Just relax. This is just... I was just waiting. I was just letting you.
Good. Thank you.
You've been on the podcast before, so people that have listened to the podcast before, more than a year ago, hey? So think about that. The fact that you've waited a whole year to be here. It's not good. It's not good. Okay, but for people that weren't listening a year ago and are only listening now and are only learning about Sandra Philippe for the first time, tell us a little bit about you.
So I'm Sandra. I am working on SEH, Casas de Férias, or SEH solutions. So we have different types of services. We can manage your property if you would like to use the house only for yourself, or you can manage also the holiday rentals.
Okay. So if I don't want people from all over the world coming to my property and sleeping in my bed, I just give you guys the keys and you clean it and manage the property when I'm not there.
Exactly.
But
So
if I do want to make a little bit, if I want to make a bit of money, you guys do the rental services as well.
Exactly.
Okay, perfect. The reason why you're here after almost a year, again, I just need to remind you, is we've just launched the 3rd edition of Portugal Simple Life magazine. Amazing. And I'm speaking to everybody that's written an article, and there you are. Look at that. Huh?
Quite different.
Your hair's long there your hair's long in this photo.
It's true.
But your hair looks nice. It's good. Tell us a little bit about what you wrote.
So the article, it's about the service that we do in SEH, basically. So there is a lot of people that long time ago decided to deliver their house to the neighbor that doesn't work anymore and take care about the house and the cleaning. But the times are changing and the market is also changing. So basically, it's about the benefits of having a professional company to taking care about your house. And also about the rentals. So basically, it's the opinion about the service and how good it is to have a professional company taking care about all of the services in your house. We also do, besides the property management, we also do laundry and maintenance. So basically, we offer the full service and give you, the owner, a really peace of mind. So the house is in good hands.
Saw Hugo driving around the other day in his van. I mean, that guy literally changes light bulbs if it's needed, right? I mean, it's amazing.
Yes. So we are going to the house, we do the property checks, we check if everything is okay. If you have minor problems like changing the light bulb or changing, how you call it, a maçaneta?
A maçaneta?
A maçaneta da porta. Or you're changing...
the door handle or something.
Yes, the door handle, for example, we can manage that. But also if there is a big problem, we also detect the problem before it's a huge problem. For example, if you have a leak on your solar panel, during the property checks, we will do it, we will check it, and then we also manage to solve the problem in your behalf. So basically we contact another companies, we of course let the owner know that there is a problem, and we offer the solution. So they can decide, and we also oversee the work. So we report everything since the problem, the solution, and the finished work.
It's much better than leaving your keys with your neighbors.
Yes.
A little bit. A lot.
A lot.
Sandra, another thing in the magazine, as you'll see there, the Silver Coast Hidden Gems. What's yours? Tell us about your hidden gem on the Silver Coast. You've lived here your whole life.
Yes. I lived in the Silver Coast my whole life. And my secret hidden gem, it's the Praia do Baleal in Peniche.
Okay. What do you like about it?
I like everything. I like the small waves, I like the sea, and I like the golden sand. And it's really nice. It's really beautiful, and it's really enjoyable.
Do you surf?
No.
You watch the others do it?
I watch the other surfers.
Have you ever been on the Baleal Island when the water kind of goes over the road and then you're stuck on the island for a little while?
Of course, because the Praia do Baleal, it's also beautiful during the winter. So you can, it's beautiful places to do a walk or enjoy the sea. Even in the island, like you're saying, when the sea coming through the road, it's quite beautiful. Yeah.
It's a cool place to get stuck.
You shouldn't go there if the sea's coming, isn't it?
Well, but that's what I'm saying. It's a nice place to be stuck. I mean, there's worse places to be stuck. And those rocks are amazing. Those curved rocks of the Baleal Island are stunning.
Yeah. that's what I was saying. It's beautiful places where you can go for a walk. Of course, that you need to be careful, but there is safe ways that you can go for a walk and enjoy and see the rocks and also the sea, of course.
Exactly. Sandra, the other good news, because you were the last article in the magazine, you're also the last person on this interview. So I'm going to let you call it.
It's a wrap.
So thank you once again to David, Denise, Tim, Elena, Bruno, Sophia, and Sandra. And thank you to all of you for listening. Please subscribe, share with your friends, give us a thumbs up, and please leave a comment or a review. We always love to hear from you. And please download a copy of this amazing Portugal The Simple Life magazine. It's free. And as we say in Portugal, sejas bem-vindo. Welcome to The Simple Life.